Hi everyone, and welcome to this masterclass, Energy Clearing and Grounding in Nature for Empaths and Sensitive People. My name is Hannah McQuilkan from Tree Mystic, and it is my real pleasure to be talking you through some powerful techniques so that you can stay grounded, calm and clear no matter where you find yourselves. So as an empath myself, I can relate to some of the struggles that you are going through, and we're going to be working through the top struggles of empaths one by one. I'm going to be sharing with you simple tools and techniques to support and assist with these struggles that you can use if you're out in nature or at home or work. So I do recommend taking a look at the book, The Empath Survival Guide, Life Strategies for Sensitive People by Judith Orloff. I've got some notes here. There's a lot of information I'm going to be sharing with you today, so I will be referring to these notes from time to time. So she suggests that empaths lack the filters most people use to protect themselves from excessive stimulation and can't help but take in surrounding emotions and energies, whether they're good, bad, or somewhere in between. And so that really is a really good definition of empaths. And so more than most people, we need to find ways to ground our energy and clear our energy on a regular basis. Most empaths find nature incredibly soothing. It's only dawned on me recently that, that's a big part of the reason that I love nature so much and why my work over the years has been heavily focused on nature. So my background is as a naturopath, medical herbalist, and more recently as a certified forest therapy guide with the Association of Nature and Forest Therapy Guides. So I've been taking people out into nature, doing beautiful forest therapy experiences for the past 4 to 5 years. And it's just dawned on me recently that providing a program for sensitive people and showing them how to make the most of nature would be incredibly valuable. Because I'm sure most of you find that you're soothed when you're in nature. But there are ways to work with nature more consciously that can really amplify the soothing effects that nature can create. And so I'm going to share with you some of those techniques today. They're all simple, and I encourage you to try them wherever you are in the world, to give them a go and experiment and see which ones work for you. So I like the idea of your body being the laboratory and you discovering for yourself what feels really good for you. So let's talk about being grounded. So I talk about groundedness first. For me, it is really the primary thing when it comes to being an empath is being grounded. Being grounded can mean two things: being fully present in your body and or feeling connected to the earth. So you're ungrounded if you get distracted easily, you space out, overthink or ruminate, engage in personal drama or experience anxiety or perpetual worrying. You're also ungrounded if you're possessed by a desire for material things, easily deceived by yourself or others, or obsessed with your personal image. And physical signs of being ungrounded include inflammation, poor sleep, chronic pain, fatigue, poor circulation, and being ungrounded is a worldwide epidemic. So there's been a lot of beautiful evidence to show us that grounding has a powerfully healing effect on the body. It has been shown to reduce inflammation, improve the immune response, reduce emotional stress, improve blood flow and elevate the mood. So these are all amazing reasons to get really excited about grounding. So grounding is really it's designed to redistribute the energy from your head or mind into your body. And doing so has an almost instantly calming effect. So most of our stress and anxiety results from a disconnection from our bodies, and the more rooted you are in your body, the less stress and anxiety you will experience. And if you're not grounded, it can be difficult to notice and stay aware of if we've picked up energy from other people. And then that energy can accumulate in our bodies, leading us to be uncomfortable being in our bodies, leading to even further ungroundedness. So as you can see, it really is the foundation to coping as a sensitive person in the world, is learning to become grounded. The other component to being grounded is called earthing, which some of you may have heard of. So earthing is about connecting your physical body, your skin, with the physical earth. Okay, and this is likened to every household having a ground wire. You know, there's the ground, which is normally in most countries the third prong on the electrical plug is the grounding wire, and that provides a path for the electricity to go into the ground, and that basically stops one from potentially getting electrocuted if you're touching these devices. Okay, and so there's this, from an earthing perspective, our bodies are already short-circuiting, and that is resulting in a prevalence of physical, emotional, and mental disorders. And so connecting to the earth grounds us and rebalances our electrical system. So physically grounding to the earth is a very important component for empaths as well. So the theory with earthing is that it allows a transfer of negatively charged electrons from the Earth's surface into the body. And these electrons neutralize positively charged free radicals that cause chronic inflammation. So an excess of these free radicals damages our cell membranes and DNA, leading to cancer and other diseases. And because earthing has been shown to reduce blood viscosity or thickness and inflammation, it has the potential to support cardiovascular health. It's also been shown to have a calming and balancing effect on the nervous system. And the biophysicist James Oshman explains earthing as in this way. He says, the moment your foot touches the earth or you connect to the earth through a wire, your physiology changes. An immediate normalization begins, and an anti-inflammatory switch is turned on. So people stay inflamed because they never connect with the earth, which is the source of free electrons, which can neutralize the free radicals in the body that cause disease and cellular destruction. And earthing is the easiest and most profound lifestyle change that anyone can make. So it's pretty inspiring. So the main thing that's causing us not to be earthed in the modern world is the use of rubber shoes, which obviously insulates us from the ground, and living and working in apartments and these kind of environments where our bodies are not connecting to the earth. So the recommended way to do it is you need to have 2 points of your body connected to the earth, either 2 hands, 2 feet. So you need to have at least 2 points connected to the earth, and the recommended amount is to do it for 20 minutes a day at least. So it's really simple to do, and I'll be showing you ways that you can do this really, really easily. Perfect. So I'll now move on to show you some of these simple ways that you can ground with nature. So the first grounding technique I'm going to show you can be done in nature with bare feet for extra potency, or can be done in your work or home as well. It's a short meditation. So I invite you to take your shoes off and find somewhere in nature, like I have here. Close your eyes. And just notice how the ground touches your feet. And imagining you have roots going from your feet all the way down into the earth. Imagining these roots are growing longer and stronger and deeper, all the way down into the earth. You might like to imagine that these roots are wrapping around the core of the earth itself. As you breathe in, drawing that earth energy all the way up through your feet and into your heart. That's on the in-breath. You're drawing the earth energy all the way up through your feet and into your heart. and then placing your awareness above your head. This is the seat of your source or your higher self. On the out breath, you're imagining you're drawing this energy down and into your heart. That's on the out breath. So as you breathe in, drawing the earth energy up and into your heart. And as you breathe out, drawing that energy from your higher self or source down into your heart. And to continue breathing and imagining as you breathe in, the energy rising up through your body and into your heart, and as you breathe out, the energy moving down and into your heart. And this is a very grounding and centering exercise to start what we're doing today. So I invite you to try that for at least 5 minutes. You can do it inside or outside, and then we'll move on to our next grounding exercise. So our next grounding exercise is very simple. It's just simply walking on the ground barefoot. Doing this for at least 10 minutes, and as you walk, you're noticing how the earth touches your feet. So you would have all walked on the earth barefoot before. This is just a little more conscious and a little more connected. It's developing a relationship between your feet and the earth and noticing how the earth touches your feet. So you walk along, slowly noticing these different sensations. Another grounding exercise I really love is lying on the ground and allowing the earth to take your weight. With each breath, as you lie on the earth, you allow yourself to sink a little deeper into the earth. And you can ask the earth to support you, to take away anything negative you're feeling or anything you're struggling to deal with. The earth will hold you, embrace you, and care for you. So lying on the earth in this way is deeply nourishing, healing and grounding. And you can try it with a stone on your belly for extra grounding. So with this one, again, you're wanting to do it for at least 5 minutes. And obviously, because you need your physical body to be connected to the earth, you don't want to be lying on any yoga mats or anything like that. You want to be fully connected to the earth. So give that a go. See how it feels with or without a stone in your belly. I hope you enjoy. So now we're moving on to grounding with trees. It's a beautiful and powerful grounding technique you can use with trees, and I'll show you that in a moment. But just before we go there, I want to show you a simple version you can try at home. So it's just putting the top of your head against your crown, or your crown chakra, and just breathing here for, again, that magic number, 3 to 5 minutes. Set a timer if you need to. So our crown chakra is kind of what connects us to our higher self or universal energies. By putting our hand on our head, it's like drawing that energy back into our body. And people report finding this particularly healing and calming. People really love it. And there's a version you can do with a tree that basically involves putting your crown chakra onto a tree. And people find this very, very beautiful. So I'll show you what this looks like. So it's very simple. You find the trunk of a tree and you just place your crown chakra onto that trunk. And you just breathe. while you're doing this, you can imagine that the roots from your feet are going down into the earth and connecting with the roots from the tree. So your imaginary roots and the roots of the tree are mixing and mingling, and it's a beautiful feeling of becoming one with a magical tree spirit. So I've shown you some powerful grounding techniques that you can use in nature, and how do we adapt these techniques to if you're at home or at work and you can't get into nature? Well, my first thing to say would be if you can get into nature, if you can put your bare feet on the earth, and that's going to be really powerful. But if you can't, there are definitely some things you can do. The meditation where you imagine your feet, the roots going from your feet all the way down into the earth, and then breathing up that energy from the earth and down from the sky. You can do that anywhere. People find certain crystals really grounding. You can place these crystals in your work or home and hold on to them and start to use them as part of your daily grounding. Some of my favorite grounding crystals are shungite, black tourmaline, jasper, hematite, and obsidian. And these crystals are all lovely. You can be holding one as you're doing that grounding meditation. You can soak them in water and make like a grounding water. Just make sure when using crystals that you do cleanse them from time to time by either washing them or leaving them out under the sun or the moon. So they're all things that I'd recommend to ground you at home. The other thing, of course, is eating well. As empaths, we're sensitive beings, and we're often sensitive to foods, and food is very grounding because obviously we're nourishing our physical bodies, and bringing those digestive processes are very grounding in and of themselves. So eating good quality foods, root vegetables are a very grounding food. Any kind of protein is going to be very grounding, and just make sure that it is nourishing whole foods. As a qualified naturopath, I would say that on the whole, for empaths, sugar and caffeine are probably things to avoid, just because they're very stimulating and can lead to imbalance. So that's something that you can check in for yourself and monitor. And I like to suggest to people, try it for a week. Try having no caffeine or no sugar for a week, or even just reduce it, and just notice what effect that has on your life. So we're ready to move on to energy clearing. Now, as I said, grounding is the most important tool for empaths, as it can stop us from needing to clear our energy in the first place because we're more present in our body and less likely to take on somebody else's energy. However, sometimes we will take on other people's energies. We're not perfect, and it's important not to beat ourselves up or feel bad if that happens. It's just important to be aware, and if we're grounded, we're more likely to pick up more quickly that this has happened. So all of us have an auric field around our bodies, and as empaths, we're picking up on this auric field more acutely than others. I'm sure many of you can relate to the fact that as empaths, it's difficult to sometimes distinguish between our own emotions and somebody else's emotions. And I will talk at the end about some ways to deal with that, but it's not always important. What is important is knowing how to clear negative energy if it comes up. So I will share some simple techniques in nature, and also some that you can use at work and at home to help you to do this. Trees are amazing at supporting us to be able to clear negative energy, and it feels so good to work with a tree in this way. So find a tree that you feel connected to. You introduce yourself. You can just say your name. It's very simple. And then I like to move into the full body tree hug. So that is pressing your chest, your heart chakra, and your belly, your solar plexus chakra into the tree. And as you do this, you're really giving your weight to the tree. Okay? You're really giving your whole weight to the tree. Breathing with the tree. And as you're leaning against the tree in this intimate embrace, the invitation is to share with the tree anything you might be struggling with, and you can do that So speaking from your heart to the tree, you can do that out loud, you can do that in a whisper, or just in your mind. And you can ask the tree to take anything from you that you no longer need. And trees, they really are happy to do this for us. They're happy to work with humans in this way. So you're connected to the tree, belly, chest. I'm just asking the tree to take away anything you no longer need. And it's good at this time to be open to any insights or inspiration that the tree might have to offer you in return. So I wanted to share with you about energy clearing with the element of water. Water is one of the best ways that you can clear your energy. So if you've got access to a waterfall like I have behind me, then lucky you. I like to tune into the energy of that waterfall and imagine that beautiful water flowing from the top of my head all the way through my body, washing and clearing away anything I no longer need. Doing this next to a waterfall is really powerful, but you can also do it from your home or office and just imagine a waterfall of light flowing from the top of your head all the way down through your body, through every cell, washing and clearing. And of course, physically touching the water is recommended. So to do that, just get yourself to some water. Washing your hands. And then just sprinkling that water all around your body. If you want to give yourself a real treat, you get under that waterfall and let it cleanse you. I'm not going to do that today. It's still quite cold here, but I do love doing that, and I can tell you that it feels amazing. That nothing feels quite as cleansing and energizing as the ocean. But how can we harness the ocean to really amplify its cleansing properties? Well, similar to how it works with the waterfall, it's about asking the ocean to cleanse you. So we can work with these elements in an intelligent way and assume that they will be responding to us and our consciousness will be responding to them. So with the ocean, you can walk in it barefoot like I am right now. Obviously swimming in the ocean is going to be extra powerful, but if you swim in the ocean, it's again, as I dive under sometimes, I will just ask that anything that no longer serves you to cleanse. And I like to feel the water washing through my body and releasing anything. So I find with the ocean particularly, well, maybe more, it depends on the beach obviously, and different beaches have very different feels. Wild West Coast beach, so it has a particularly cleansing and cathartic effect. And a quieter, stiller beach, you possibly would have less than that. What you can also do with ocean water, especially a nice unpolluted fresh ocean like this one here, is gather some of the water in a container and take that home and use it for your seining. Put it into a spray bottle and use that water to cleanse your home. You could put crystals into that water, leave it under the moon, leave it under the sun, really get it energized, and then you could use it in the way that I've described. Beloved ocean, I ask you, cleanse me now of anything I no longer need to be carrying. So what are some ways that we can clear our energy at home or at work? Well, as I mentioned, if you can get out into nature, then do that and try to either lie on the earth, allowing the earth to take any negative energy, or find a tree and ask it to take any negative energy. But if these things aren't available, luckily there's quite a few other things that we can do. So the first one that I'd recommend would be hand washing. You know, if you've had an altercation with your boss or a challenging conversation with your husband or child, and you notice you're carrying that negative energy around, you just want it to be released, washing your hands and face, and give that a go. I personally do that after every single client because I find it really, really effective. And it's so simple. The other thing you can do is various energy clearing techniques such as seining. Seining is a Scottish Gaelic word that means to bless or consecrate. And seining really is using salt water or sacred water and sprinkling it around a space, and that is how the Celts cleared space. So I used to use sage, I'll talk about that more, but now I seine, and you can put it in a spray bottle to make it a little simpler. And you just sprinkle this water around your space, around your body, just spraying it all around your body. And it's a beautiful, powerful way to clear your space. Using smoke sticks is another powerful technique. I personally these days avoid sage because of the cultural appropriation issue. I try to use smoke sticks that are made of something that's more in line with my cultural traditions, such as mugwort. I'm not to say you can never use sage, but when I use sage these days, I just do so mindfully, and I really give thanks to the Native American culture for this beautiful gift. So with the smoke sticks, you're just lighting them and again, letting the smoke go all around your space, particularly concentrating on corners, behind doors, and under like beds or desks, and also obviously around your own auric field as well. You want to be putting it all around there. Incense is another type of smoke stick that can be used for energy clearing. Opening doors and windows, very simple way, just moving through that old stagnant energy and letting some fresh air come in. So don't underestimate the power of opening a window. There are also some lovely crystals that you can have in your home or office. I love Lemurian quartz. It's very, very, very clear. It's a beautiful crystal for keeping your energy clear. Smoky quartz is a beautiful energy clearing crystal, as well as obsidian and amethyst. So give those crystals a go. If you're having to have a conversation with a challenging person, you might even like to hold one of those crystals during the conversation, or have a piece of jewelry to help keep your energy clear. As I already mentioned, just make sure you do clean those crystals now and then. So yeah, hope that was all really valuable. Give those techniques a try at home or work and see how they work for you. So what would a daily practice look like for an empath who's really wanting to stay on top of this? Well, I recommend going out somewhere in nature where you can put your feet on the earth at least once a day. These wooden stools you can see behind me is where I try to come every day that I'm out on this land, just to spend time in nature. So I recommend doing the little meditation where you put the roots down into the earth, breathe the earth energy out, breathe the sky energy down, doing that for a few minutes. So that's grounding. And then spending a couple of minutes on energy clearing, so visualizing a waterfall moving through your body, hugging a tree and asking the tree take away any negative energy, or lying on the ground, so clearing your energy. And then just sitting somewhere like this and just being in nature. You know, this is called a sit spot in forest therapy, where you just sit for at least 10 to 15 minutes just being. And it is so soothing, so relaxing, a very simple and nourishing way to come back into your center. Then throughout the day, you can be using your seining sprays, your smoke sticks, your crystals, these techniques to keep you balanced throughout the day. And if you have time, then I recommend doing a simple meditation again in the evening. So we're coming to the end of this masterclass, energy clearing and grounding in nature for sensitive people. Thank you so much for joining me. Just a couple of points to finish on. One of the most powerful realizations was changing this idea of being an empath and being an emotional sponge, so kind of absorbing everyone's emotions, to turning this idea of sponge into a sieve. So rather than holding on to negative emotions, I'm like a sieve. I just let them all move through me effortlessly. So that one visualization might be something that you find useful to play around with. There are many other healing techniques that you can use, and I do recommend going deeper. These tools and techniques I've shared with you today are invaluable. If there's deeper traumas, anxieties and wounds that need to be looked at, I recommend taking some time and working with different therapists and modalities to sort them out. Because the more wounds and unresolved things you have going on, the more difficult it is to ground and keep your energy clear. So some types of techniques or modalities you might like to look into is inner child work, neuro-linguistic programming or NLP, energy work such as angelic Reiki, and I do a particular type of healing that I call spiritual counseling, which works really well for empaths because I'm working with them to get into their higher selves. And most empaths are sensitive enough to be able to do this easily. I support my clients to get into their higher selves and then to be able to access the answers they need to their most pressing questions. And I'm there as a guide and support, talking them through this and validating the experiences I get. And then we clear and shift and rewire, recalibrate whatever it is they've picked up. It is amazing. It's amazing the types of things that empaths can pick up, whether it's an inner child that needs working on, a past life, something that happened. My clients who are sensitive, they know what's wrong and they know what needs to happen. It's just helpful to have somebody who can support them through that process. So if you're interested in finding out more, please go to my website. It's treemystic.com, and I'll be giving a 10% discount to anyone who has watched this webinar for their first session with me. Blessings and best wishes to you all on your sensitive journey. It is such a blessing to be an empath. At times I know it can feel so challenging, but my mission really is to help empaths turn their sensitivities into a healing gift. So I hope that this information I've shared today can support you in that pursuit. Best wishes everyone. Bye for now.